right, second part of 6.3 is solving through elimination, having to manipulate both equations. I want you to keep in mind that our goal is to get one of the variables to be the opposite of each other so they can cancel out. Opposite means we have a plus and a negative. Because if we have a positive and a negative, that cancels out. I'm going to do an example with you real quick. If I had 2x minus 3y is equal to 20, and 11x plus 2y is equal to a negative 1. Alright, looking at these, I can't get my 2 into an 11, and I can't get my 3 into a 2. So I'm going to have to multiply both of them by something. So that's kind of my strategy. When I know I need to multiply both of them by something, I put a parentheses around. If you look, I have a negative and a positive. So it tells me that I want to get my y's to cancel. So what I think to myself, what's a multiple that goes into both 2 and 3? And I think 6. So what do I need to multiply 3 by to get to 6? 2. What do I need to multiply 2 by to get to 6? 3. Now I go ahead and distribute through. I distribute through to everything. And I get 4x minus 6y is equal to 40. And then the bottom one becomes 33x plus 6y is equal to a negative 3. This was my goal. Notice how I got a negative 6 and a positive 6. My goal is to make the coefficients opposite of each other, and I did it. That was why I multiplied them. Now I can combine, and I get 37x. That cancels, equals 37, so x is 1. Now to find my y, I take this x and I plug it into one of the original x. Again, I take this x and I plug it into one of my originals. I have many originals I can work with. I could use the top equation, I could use the bottom equation, the new equation I formed, or the other new equation I formed. I usually try to pick the originals because the coefficients are smaller. So now I'm just going to rewrite 2 times x, but x is 1, minus 3y is 20. 2 minus 3y is 20. Take 2 away, negative 3y is 18. Divide by negative 3, and y is a negative 6. So my solution to the system of equations is 1, negative 6. And that means that these two lines, if we were to graph these two lines, they intersect at the point 1, negative 6. Next example here, I got 5x plus 4y is 9, and 4x plus 5y is 9. Looking, I see that I can't turn my 5 into a 4, and I can't turn my 4 into a 5. So I know that I need to multiply both of them by something. I also noticed that everything is the same sign. So I got 2 positives going on here, and I got 2 positives with the leading coefficients. So that tells me that I'm going to multiply one of them through by a negative as well to make them opposite. Asking myself what's a multiple between 5 and 4, and I should notice that 20 goes into 5 and 4. So I need to multiply 5 through by 4 in order to get to 20, and 4 through by 5 in order to get to 20. Now distribute. I'm distributing that negative. Don't forget about the poor little negative too. It's going along with it. So I'm going negative 20x minus 16y is equal to a negative 36. Being very, very careful about my negatives. The bottom equation, when I distribute, I get 20x plus 25y is equal to 45. take a look at my goal was achieved. I was able to make one the opposite of the other. Combine, my x's cancel, and I get 9y is equal to 9. Y is equal to 1. To get my other value, again, we're solving a system, so we need an x and a y. I take this one and I just plug it into one of the originals. I usually always go to the top one. So I get 5x plus 4 times 1 equals 9. 5x plus 4 is 9. Subtract my 4. 5x is 5. Finally, x is 1. So the solution to this system is 1, 1. Looking at the next example here, I have 2x plus 3y is 1, and 4x minus 2y is 10. When I go through, I notice that my 2 I can turn into a 4. In order to make this 2 an opposite of the positive 4, I'm going to want to make this into a negative 4. So I need to multiply 2 by a negative 2 to get to a negative 4. Distributing, I get negative 4x minus 6y is equal to a negative 2. Again, being very careful about my negative signs. Rewriting the bottom right under it. Now I want you to notice my goal, again, was to get them opposites of each other, which was achieved. So the x's cancel, and I get negative 8y is equal to 8, because that's a negative 6 minus 2 more, I'm at a negative 8. Divide through by negative 8, and I get y is equal to a negative 1. Now I need to find my x. So I take my y, and I plug that in to one of my equations. Again, I always usually do my top equation. And I get 2x plus 3 times y is equal to 1. 2x plus a negative 3 is equal to 1. I usually just write this as 2x minus 3 is 1. Add 3. 2x is equal to 4. X is equal to 2. So my solution to this system is 2, negative 1. I'm going to do another example from your homework. I'm going to choose to do number 5. And I get 2x plus 5y is 11. And negative 3x plus 8y is negative 1. Looking at this, I see I'm going to have to manipulate both equations. Now the variable that I'm going to choose to cancel out is going to be my x. I choose that because I have a negative in front. So they can easily become opposites. 6 is the multiple that they can both go into, so I'm going to times the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 2. And I get 6x plus 15y is 33. And then negative 6x plus 16y is a negative 2. Combining these, I get 31y is equal to 31. Y is 1. Now to find my x, I'm going to choose, again, I can choose my new equations, but I usually always go back to my original because the leading coefficients are smaller. I get 2x plus 5 times y is equal to 11. 2x plus 5 is 11. Minus 5, 2x is 6. X is 3. So the solution to this system is 3. on. I'm going to do another one from your homework. I'm going to do number 7. We have 4x minus 5y is negative 28, and negative 9x minus 2y is 10. I can tell right away that I need to manipulate both of them. So what I'm going to manipulate by, here I see I got 2 negatives in front of the y's, and then the x's I have a positive 4 and a negative 9. So I'm going to get rid of the x's. That way I don't have to distribute a negative. 4 and 9 share a factor of 36. So I could just multiply this by 9, the top one by 9, and the bottom one by 4. And you're always going to notice that you can do that. You can always, if you choose to get rid of the x, you can always just put the coefficient opposite of the equation it is. Distribute 36x minus 45y is equal negative 28 times 9 is negative 252. Using my calc to help me a little bit. Negative 36x minus 8y is equal to 40. Combine them. And I get negative 53y is equal to negative 212, because the x canceled. And y, 212 divided by 53 is 4. Y is equal to 4. Now looking here, I multiplied, the numbers got huge because I multiplied through by this 9. It makes things a lot more difficult. I could have chose to get rid of the y's because I would have multiplied through by a 5 and a 2. Facts that I know really fast. So again, how do I get my x? I take this y, I plug it into an original equation. So I get 4x minus 5y, but y is 4, equals negative 28. 4x minus 20 is negative 28. Add 20, 4x is negative 8. Divide by 4x is negative 2. So my solution to the system of equations is the point negative 2, 4. I'm going to do one more with you from your homework, and then I think you're set to practice yourself. Number 12 says 5x minus 12y is equal to a negative 16, and a negative 3x plus 4y is equal to 0. I notice here that both of them are opposites of each other. So I'm going to choose to just manipulate this bottom one because I can turn my 4 into a 12. Easy. I can turn my 4 into a 12 by multiplying everything by 3. So I get 5x minus 12y is equal to negative 16. Negative 9x plus 12y is equal to 0. Combine negative 4x. The y's cancel like my goal was, is equal to negative 16. X is equal to 4. Halfway there. To find my y now, I plug my 4 into one of the equations. I'm choosing the top one. And I get 5x minus 12 times 4 is equal to a negative 16. 5x minus 48 is negative 16. Negative 16 plus 48 is 32.